is in streamer mode. Do I appear as being live? Do not appear as live yet. Two minutes and then I start reading. So I have my fire crackling, I have my audio on. My laptop is making a lot of noise again. All I need to do is give it a few minutes. Wait for people to see the tweet. And psych myself up for this. I will be starting at 6:05 to give people time to join. Okay? And who is in my chat right now? We'll tweet that. Check that. Pull that back up. Pull the script up. Well, if you can call it a script. Prepare myself again. Hello. Okay, another minute or so. Sorry, this is, if I sound nervous, I have not done this before, and thanks. It is not fully artwork, it is actually a miniature which somebody I follow painted over, and god damn it looks good. Okay, I am now ready. Yeah. Get the fire crackling audio going. Can you hear that? There should be a really quiet fire crackle in the background. Yes. A Hellwinter's Blessing. A short story by me. It was the middle of Hellwinter, and for the last few days a blizzard had been raging. Pushing through the snow, Leafwill's son pushed onwards. His close friend, Silfer the wolf, a large silver-furred creature that was like a brother to him, padded along at his side. A few hours ago, as if the world spirit itself had willed, so the blizzard had broken for a few moments, and in that time he had spotted a plume of smoke in the near distance. A campfire? Who would be crazy enough to be outside in the middle of Hellwinter? He says to Silfer. Other than us, that is. He stops for a moment to pull his furs closer around himself. Silfer raises his head to the sky and sniffs. What is it, brother? Leaf says, starting to walk again. Have you caught the scent of the campfire? The wolf nods, once more displaying an unnaturally large amount of intelligence for the beast it was. Lead on, pal. Best we find them before they freeze, Leaf says again. Silver starts to pad ahead, with the young 14-year-old man padding along in his trail, placing feet in the marks that paws had made. As they entered the clearing, the blizzard stopped once more, allowing Leaf to gasp as he sees the large metal object. By the Allfather, what is that? He exclaims, looking at it. It had carved a path through the ground from where it had impacted, and now lay smouldering on the other side of the clearing. What appeared to be a door at the end of the object hung open, and from within a quiet female whimpering could be heard. Leaf approaches carefully, his iron sword and wooden shield raised in a defensive stance. As he gets closer, his heart begins to beat with excitement and anticipation. What is this thing, and who is inside? He starts to think. Clambering inside through the open hatch, he spots a young girl about his age, wearing nothing but a pair of dirty, torn rags. Her body is covered in scars and cuts, some new and some old, whilst her ears look like they have been attacked with a blunt knife. The moment she spots Leaf, she whimpers even louder and curls up into a ball. "'Tis okay, 'tis okay. I'm not going to hurt ye, I promise," Leaf says, moving forward slowly and removing his furs to reveal his face. The girl shaking slows as she sees that he is not planning to harm her, and she allows him to wrap the cloths and furs around her. Now that he is close, he can see that despite her injuries, she has an air of beauty about her. Her face looks almost otherworldly, and atop her head is a messy, dirt-filled shock of red hair, like the maidens of his clan's stories. Leif's heart starts to beat in his chest. "What is your name, beautiful?" he asks. The girl simply shakes her head as if to say that she does not know her own name. As she moves, several of the cuts along her body open, and she collapses from the pain. Panicking, Leif pulls strips of cloth out of his pack, wrapping them around the cuts in an attempt to treat them. The work was messy, as he was a fighter, the son of the Jarl, and not the clan's healer, nor the healer's apprentice. A few long minutes later, he collapses back onto his rear, covered in the girl's blood. As he stands, moving to go outside and clear his head, he feels her grab his leg, holding him in place. Leif smiles before sitting down again. As he does so, the girl shuffles over closer to him, moving somehow despite her injuries. Leif thinks for a few moments before suddenly saying, "Freya!" causing the girl to look at him confused. "Freya," he says again, more confidently. "It is what I'm going to call you." He smiles at her. "Freya?" the girl says as if testing the name. "Aye, Freya." Leif responds one last time. With that, the girl smiles at him, seeming to like her new name. The blizzard starts again, snow pouring in from the outside. "We can't stay here, Freya, else you'll freeze to death," Leif says, scooping her up into his arms. It was the middle of Hellwinter, and at this time of year, oceans froze, and so would any non-Fenrisian who dared to wander in a storm. By the Allfather, even Fenrisians froze, Leif thought. Leif was a tough man. He would bear the storm without his furs. The girl needed them more. Walking outside the pod with Leif, words are failing me. Not a good look. Walking outside the metal pod, Leif carries Freya in his arms. Silfr the wolf crouches, as if for them to climb onto his back. Leif does so, smiling. Well, Silfr, we found who we were looking for. We best get back to the clan before we freeze. Good thing you're here, otherwise it'll take me a week or so. And you're back, it'll only take me a day. Leif holds Freya close to his chest. He was big for a 14-year-old, standing almost 6 foot tall. And as such he used the bulk of his body to shield her from the wind. As he holds her, he notices that her scars are more brutal than he originally thought, and caused by means not uncommon to a Fenrisian. A knife or whip was for most of them, whilst the others were either burns or of an unknown origin. And yet, as he holds her, he realizes that she is light for her 5 foot height, even for someone as skinny as her. Talking to himself, he says, "Just what are you? A beauty sent from the stars?" At this time, he did not realize just how correct he was. Wrapped up in the furs, Freya stares at her savior, his muscular yet youthful body glistening in the sun from the melting snow. A day and a half later, Leif, Silfa, and Freya had arrived at the village of Skellag just after dusk almost a day ago. As if by miracle or dumb luck, the blizzard had broken almost 2 hours into their return journey, which had allowed them to travel a lot quicker than previously. Freya had spent most of the journey tightly clutching a scrap of cloth that was dyed blue, red and white. And after a few hours of careful prompting, Leif had finally coaxed her into giving it to him. Pardon me. He now sat close to the hearth in his family home, staring at the cloth and a small box made out of bone-like material. The scrap of cloth is like nothing he has ever seen. It was too durable and soft of your Fenrisian origin. On the other hand, the box seemed to be hand-carved from animal bone and contained 2 small gems. Leif suddenly hears Freya scream, her voice loud and panicked. He rushes into her room, stumbling as he goes from sitting to running. This had been happening every few hours for the last few days as Freya tried to sleep. But this time he swore it would be the last. Freya, calm down. You're safe now. You're safe now, he says over and over as he crouches down at her side. Pulling her into his arms, Leif comforts the crying girl, letting her cry into his chest. "It was the nightmare again, wasn't it?" he asks her, getting only a nod in response. The same response she had given every time. Leif starts to stand before feeling himself be pulled into the bed. Don't leave, Freya says in broken Fenrisian. A look of shock spreads over his face for a moment. Other than her new name, she hadn't spoken a word in the time they'd been together. "It's okay, I'm not going far," Leif says, gently prying her arms off him. "I just need to get some more blankets, ones that are even softer." He finishes speaking, moving to walk. Not long take," she says, mixing her words. "I'll be a minute at most," Leif says, quickly running to another room, before returning with an armful of pelts and blankets. Freya looks at him happily when he returns and starts to smile even more once she notices the soft furs in his arms. "See, I said it wouldn't be long. And aren't these much better for making you comfortable?" Leif asks, with Nea nodding vigorously in response. She shuffles across the bed as he adds the additional furs and blankets to it. Leif smiles before climbing into the bed, realizing that what Freya needed most at this time was not blankets, but rather someone to hold her. That is the end of the story. If you want to give me any comments or criticisms or anything like that, you can say them now. So what did you think of that? It is my take on the world as its origin is Fenris from the Warhammer 41st universe. That story was modified from something that occurred in a Twitter role-playing session, ironically enough, of my Space Marine character. Yeah. God, I messed up so many times then. I mumbled words. But yeah, it's good to see that some people are enjoying this. If you have nothing else to... Really? Like, this was the first short story we've done in a while, and I'm glad people liked it. Now, a good day to you, my sirs, and I will see you next time I do one of these. Goodbye.